I was just kind of reflecting, and I just wanted to encourage you while I'm also encouraging myself. Know that I never get on and speak about something that I haven't either experienced or I'm not going through. And as I'm thinking about where I've been and where Yah has allowed me to prosper at, there's also more that I want to do. And so I titled this ETA, and we know that our ETA is your expected time of arrival. And in life, in traveling, there are expected times of arrival. If I get on a plane and I leave at 1 o'clock from where I live at, I expect to be in Los Angeles either 45 minutes to an hour. Same with Vegas. So then I can fret or fuss about a 2-hour delay, or especially if I'm up in the air and we're just hovering around. But then something was revealed to me. Sometimes we can't land because there's traffic. Air traffic control won't allow us to land. Sometimes we can't land because there's been an accident. But we don't know that. We're just traveling. And our expectation is to get where we're told we're supposed to be at the appointed time. And when I was thinking about that, I was thinking about just my journey and the things that I desire. And I know that as we travel through life, we look at other circumstances and other things about, like, how people arrive or their arrival, or how they get here already. And I've been trying to do that, and it's taken this long. But I've learned something about those valley experiences, or just hovering. Sometimes those times are for Yah to do more perfecting in you. Maybe there's something in you that you're not ready for the particular task at that time, because there's still some pride there. Or you need to be humbled a little bit more. Or you need to learn more compassion. You need to be more sensitive and compassionate about the things that are going on with people. Shalom, Jillian. I have the tendency to think that everyone should think the way I think. And that's not true. Everybody isn't thick-skinned. I'm sensitive, but it takes a lot. So we have to remember that our ETA, or expected time of arrival, is sometimes held up because there's more perfection, more of a perfecting or refining process that needs to happen. I was kind of fussing this morning at myself about not finishing something on time, and then I realized I had made some mistakes, and I went back and I kind of revised and corrected them. And then we think about what the Most High says. He says, I know the plans that I have for you. I do. A plan to prosper you and do you good. And He knows what He has for us. Waiting is one of the hardest things that we will endure and experience when we have plans, because we believe that at this age we should have this, and at this point in time, if I finish A, B, and C, D should be right there, and it should just flow smooth. And that is not how it goes sometimes. Sometimes that adversity is there to build more character. Sometimes that perseverance is needed to see if you're really going to complete the task and follow through. And I've had that experience where I'm like, okay, I'm here and I've met all the requirements. Why are there still more requirements? Why am I still being held up? Why am I not prospering in the way that I thought I should prosper when I've done that all I can do? And I just heard His voice this morning. He said, because there are some things that I am preparing you for that nobody else can prepare you for. If I put you here right now, you'll ruin it. And I thought about it, and it was true. If I don't be patient and wait on the Father and wait on the proper time for my arrival, then I can ruin the whole plan. I can ruin the whole picture. Another thing that really scares me as I am proceeding forward, because as we know, waiting never means to not do anything. Waiting means to serve. When you go to a restaurant, when you're being waited upon, you're upset when the server just stands at the podium and watches you stand there. We're going to wait. Somebody has to do something. Waiting does not mean not to be productive or proactive. In your proactivity, though, in your productivity, be obedient. And that is what I am learning to be, is obedient and to listen for his voice. And what is so fearful as I continue to go back through Torah and read about the matriarchs and the patriarchs is how they ruined the whole plan by moving ahead of Yah. We saw it happen with Abram and Sarai. You go ahead of the plan after you've been promised something, and because you don't feel like it's happening in the time that you want it to happen, then you go ahead and then you cause more hiccups in the road. That is frightening to me, and it is giving me a stronger reverence for the Most High and his plan. I want to be like, and it's sad, even though Solomon went down as a bad king, but I want the wisdom to know how to carry out the task that the Most High has entrusted me with. And then along the way, not to become distracted by all of the things and the people that will be in place when you're placed in position. I want to have a heart for him so that I don't stray to the right or to the left. And most of all, you want to leave an inheritance. I've realized that an inheritance is so important. Inheritance and identity. Your tree is only as strong as the roots. And the roots can only grow and sink deeper into the earth when there's storm, when there's tribulation, when there are trials, and when you've overcome. And the fruit is that much sweeter. The pruning makes the branches grow that much stronger and beautiful. So as I'm fretting about an ETA and talking to you about an ETA, I'm also ministering to myself, because some days I get up and I feel like I'm not as successful as I would like to be. And then when you look at where you've come from and where you're going, and in your walk in Torah, things have to fall off. There are some things that have to be pruned, because we've been walking in Babylon for a long time, and we've picked up some things that aren't pleasing or pleasant to the Most High. And we have to allow time for that refining, so that now the audience that we have been given, or the audience that you're allowed to be able to captivate, isn't distracted. You're the platform that I envisioned long ago was always in beauty, because I am a stylist. So amen. I am a stylist. So when my children were little, I wanted to be I am an instructor of cosmetology, but I wanted to be a platform stylist. I wanted to travel, and I wanted to teach, and I wanted to educate women on beauty and hair, and how to look a certain way, and how to keep your hair healthy, and how to keep your skin looking a certain way. And then as I've progressed in my walk, and as I've educated apprentices and taken on people to train, I noticed something. We're empty as women inside. We want to put all these things on and look a certain way, but inside there's a lot of shallowness, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of ignorance, and there is a lot of comparison. And I began to meditate on the word. And in that, I ended up picking up something that I really loved, and I've always loved to do it, and it was gardening and cooking. And Yah said, this is beauty, the inside out. And as a stylist, when you're working and you work with other people and you're doing your clients, they go, oh, you look different, or why are you losing weight, or why does your skin look so clean? What are you doing? And you get to talk to them about your new walk. I've come into Torah, and I've started being obedient to the truths of the Most High, and I just adopted the biblical diet. Oh, okay, well, how does that work? And you find yourself on this road to helping women heal in a different way. I began to be able to explain a love for something and a passion for something that I can also participate in with other women, and it's become even bigger. I've had the opportunity to be able to have been given permission to plant in garden boxes in our community, in our community in town, which is a low income area where we've been overlooked a lot. And the project doesn't start until April, but all of the finality and the final paperwork and the implementers information, all these things are being put in, and I'm getting impatient because it just doesn't seem like it's happening fast enough. Life is moving slow right now for me, and I'm used to the high pace and things picking up. And then when in the wintertime, I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to want to get depressed, so I have to really push through and work out and walk and meditate on the word and get up early enough so that I can hear y'all speak to me. Because a lot of times when it's cold and when it's dormant, and I always say that truth is observational, and the seasons are too. Well, we know in the wintertime things stop producing. The trees die, the leaves fall off, and it's a time of reflecting, and things fall off, and it looks like everything is dying, but it's just slumbering until that next season comes. So I'm just really learning to observe the Word, the Father, nature, and being encouraged by knowing that the one whom I'm following does know the plan and the path for my life. He is the lamp unto my feet and the light unto my path. And I don't want to get weary in well-doing, and I don't want to start to murmur and complain. I'm learning to ingest more of his word so that I can recite more of it to him and converse with him and speak to him in truths and also edify his presence and magnify him as I also encourage myself. So I just wanted to encourage you all as you're walking through life, as you're journeying on to work or whatever your endeavors are today. Your ETA, your expected time of arrival, is when you get there. Your expected time of arrival is may seem like it takes a little bit longer. Don't get mad at that red light. That red light or that car not turning right away so that you can hit that corner might have saved you from having an accident. That phone call that stopped you from walking out the door might have encouraged a person to press on just one more day. If they can get through today, then they'll be all right. So be encouraged. Pray for me as I pray for you all. Shalom, shalom.